Wind River. River, released in 2017 and is directed by Taylor Sheridan, who's also directs such films like Vile, Those Who Wish Me Dead, and is the writer of films like Sicario and Hell or High Water, and including this movie, which he also wrote, and just that whole filmography is a tremendous catalog. Like, my God, this man knows how to write Western in this neo-Western genre, this new Western genre. And, like, I don't like Westerns, but gosh, if you put it in a modern day setting and you give me dialogue, you give me scripts like this, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be a Western fan. Give me more of this, please. And this film is starring Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, Graham Greene, Kelsey Aspel, Gil Birmingham, Julia Jones, and John Bernthal. A woman has been found dead in the frozen tundra of Wind River Indian Reservation in Wyoming and has been discovered by local huntsman Corey Lambert. And while the FBI agent arrives to look over the crime scene, things start falling into place where they realize that this is a homicide, and there are some bad people in this area who are abusing their power and doing terrible things to women. And I think I'm going to leave it at that because, I mean, that is the plot here. If we're looking at the plot itself, just on the surface, it's very simple, but how this is shot, how the tension is built in this film, the cinematography of this movie, and how it uses the landscapes as a character in itself is so beautiful and is so gut-wrenching and is extremely powerful. This is one of those films from 2017 that I'd always heard great things about and just never got around to watching it. Kind of like In Bruges that I reviewed late last week, just never got around to watching that. Here, this film is excellent. And like I said, it's a modern day Western where we have people kind of out in the middle of nowhere. When it comes to law enforcement, we don't have a lot of enforcement officers, especially here on this Indian reservation. I believe the lead sheriff only has like 6 deputies to monitor and to protect an entire just region, which is why a crime and a situation like this happens. There're just not enough people to drive around and oversee things. Though, I mean, when you get to the climax of this movie and you realize who actually did it, then, you know, do we need any more of these people roaming around and doing the law's work? All I will say is that this film does bring to the forefront and into your mind that these terrible situations that happen to these women on these Indian reservations, this happens, and it still happens. These things are not reported, so in fact, do they really happen? Because we don't really know about them. But there are many people, in particular Native American women, who have gone missing, and no one reports it, and no one looks for them, and no justice is done to those that caused their disappearance or caused their sexual assault. So once you realize that that is the inclusiveness that this director and writer is shoving to the forefront of all of your minds while watching this movie, I mean, big kudos to this film. When there is an injustice that is happening in the world, it's great that we have artistic pieces like this that are cemented and are permanent in pop culture and just culture in general out there, so that there is record and that there is awareness of it. Even though this is a low-budget film and it did make its money back, but the box office is not one of those huge blockbusters that you see in the theaters nowadays. Like I said, the story is very important, and I think the performances that we get in here are spectacular too, and they handle this situation with a lot of care and a lot of respect. Jeremy Renner, I think, is one of the most respectful actors out there. It is strange watching a movie with him in the snow with a whole bunch of like snow equipment and snowmobiles, knowing the situation that he found himself in a couple of years ago when he was run over by one of his snow plows or whatever it's called, and basically shouldn't be here, but he is. By some miracle, he is still alive. So it's strange seeing him in this situation when it's not the exact situation, but in this environment is the exact same environment that that situation happened to him in. So that's a little strange. But I think he does a tremendous job, and I think Elizabeth Olsen, who plays the FBI agent wanting, or at least not wanting this job, she definitely doesn't have the respect of her department. She probably got this assignment because the other people on her team, probably all men, didn't want this, so they sent out this newbie female agent out to Wyoming in the middle of negative 40-degree weather, and she has no idea how to survive or just to bundle up and dress for the weather. I loved it, and I loved the relationship between her character and Jeremy Renner's character in this film. It was genuine. It didn't have any, like, sexual desire or anything. These were just two people doing their jobs and create this bond, create this friendship, and it's not based on anything sexual in any way. I love it when a movie has a man and a woman in it, and they're just friends or they're colleagues, and they don't rely on love or passion or sexual drive. No, they're just two people doing what they're here to do, and they do it. And like I mentioned before, the tension that is built with this script and just with all the aspects of this movie, I think is great. We do see a couple of shots and a couple of action scenes here and there with people pepper spraying some agents, but we really don't have any, like, consequential, there are some stakes here, action scenes up until we get to that third act when we see the assault and then we see the whole situation that pans out with all of the police officers. And when we finally get to this shootout, it is very satisfying because it ends with just a beautiful form of justice that should be enacted onto anyone who rapes or commits sexual assault on anyone. I just thought that was perfect. I wish we weren't in this situation and those things didn't happen, but you know what? If assholes out there are going to be doing this, you know what? This is the perfect consequence for you. Now get going. Get running. Wind River is an excellent modern-day Western that keeps you engaged the entire time. There's not a single character on here that is not engaging and that you're not behind this entire situation up until when you get to those asshole-ish villains at the end. It was just a great movie that impacted me. Like, I'm still thinking about it now with this whole situation and what it calls to the forefront with the injustice that is happening in this world. And I think we need more films like this. This was excellent. I'm going to give Wind River 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen Wind River, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.